Hey guys, back with another update on a couple of modern consoles that Damo Monster's done for me. Now this is pretty special because, as you guys know, if you follow my channel, I've been collecting a lot of Japanese video games, and I guess it's rather ironic in a lot of ways that considering the investment and effort I've been putting into buying the games for the Japanese system, I haven't actually been playing them on the system that they're intended to be, i.e. I've been playing it on a PAL system where both the Japanese games and the Genesis games in my collection are supposed to be at 60 Hz, as you all know, on the NTSC systems. Now, thanks to Damo, I now have a fully modded system. I'll show you. I now have S-Video, stereo composite, and 50 Hz switch here, and Japanese English switch. Now, all you guys will know about the differences here. It's amazing. You can switch between 50 and 60 on the fly, and you know, full screen. You get boxing on the screen with the 50 Hz, and of course, PAL runs at I think it's 17% slower. So you really know a huge difference, and I really didn't know what I was missing out on. But to have this all done now, especially with all these extras, it's just too much. You really don't know what you're missing out on until you see for yourself. And I just consider myself lucky that you know, I've got all these games. I can finally play them how they're intended to be, and it's just a good excuse to revisit them, I suppose. Now, this isn't the only thing that I got done on the system. I mentioned to Damo, I was basically asking advice because my front controller port had a broken pin, and it wasn't posing too much of a problem, although if the controller was slightly askew it would affect the control. So I requested maybe if he just would swap the controller ports round, so the player 1 would be in player 2 side, because it wouldn't get used as often. But Damo, being the professional that he is, he looked into it, and he didn't really want to do that because he insisted that had them both functioning perfectly. So lo and behold, I don't know how he's done it, haven't asked him yet, but sure enough, there's a brand new pin in the player 1 controller, so it's all back to mint goodness. So stoked to finally have a fully modded system. It's just epic, works like a dream, so well done. Now that's not all. I also almost embarrassed to tell you because it's I'm so spoiled really, but I got my PAL Asian console modded as well. Now you have the switches there, the 50-60 Hz, the language switch. Now the language switch I didn't mention also helps with region lockouts on some Japanese games. There's a handful of games that I own that do have that. Plus obviously with the language factor you can also bypass some censorship that they have, because a lot of Japanese games will just default to PAL if you run it on a 50 Hz system or even a Genesis 60 Hz. So having that language switch is awesome. Now you may be wondering about this plating here. The build quality of these Asian PAL systems is lesser than the Genesis, the Japanese and the PAL systems. A few corners cut here, but first off, the plastic is a bit more brittle, and Damo noticed that when he put this in. He said he wasn't quite happy with the feel of it, so he put the stronger plate in, which still looks great, just to keep it secure. Interestingly, there's no RF shielding in these Asian PAL systems, and there's no steel shielding on the top, so they're much lighter. Would have been a cost-saving measure that as well, but just works like a dream. And obviously the advantage of this is that it's got the Japanese slots, so I don't need to bore out the slots like I would have to on my PAL system. So 2 fully pimped out modded systems with S-Video, stereo composite, 60 Hz switch and language switch. So suffice to say guys, I am just beyond stoked with this. Thank you Damo, you're a legend. Once again, on all these games, it's just going to be really fun checking them all out, playing them how they're intended to be. The very first game I put in was Streets of Rage 2, or Bare Knuckle 2, and if you play it on 50 Hz, it defaults straight to Streets of Rage 2. So obviously with the Japanese switch, you clicked it, and you go into Bare Knuckle 2, and obviously the different characters in the actual game will change. and also the music was amazing, like how different it was, how slow it was on the power. So yeah, something I've been meaning to do for a long time, and you guys, have been reminding me of the virtues of having everything running at 60 Hertz, so now it's done. And I've got Damo to thank for that. So, cheers guys. Look forward to catching up. I'm very spoiled indeed, and I'll catch up soon with some game updates. Catch you later.